My name is Jamie Noguchi, and welcome to Draw Jam.
Let's fucking make comics!
Draw Jam! Alright, this is lesson 4 in our series about making comics with the fucking... if you've missed out on any of the previous lessons, or if you're like, you just came here and you're like, what the fuck is this all about? Check out the card up here, which has a link to the playlist so you can review some of the old stuff or watch some of the old stuff or save it and share it, whatever. Don't forget, we also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/thedrawjam, because Draw Jam was taken by somebody else. So if you have work that you'd like to show off, or if you have questions, you can post questions there. Hopefully by the time you'll see this, we'll have a... It's not a very big community right now. There's like 3 people on there. But hopefully eventually we can build a nice community of like-minded creators who are there to just kind of help each other out, answer questions, or share resources. Like, if you have a really good screen printer, or if you know somebody who does really good offset printing and stuff like that, you can share it with each other and all that kind of stuff. So check out the Facebook page, check out the playlist here, and let's get on with it. Today we're going to be talking about publishing with many, many caveats. So I've never worked with a traditional publisher. All the publishing I've ever done has been myself. I've self-published all of my collections for my books. Well, that's not true. I guess I have worked with publishers technically, but it wasn't my own property. I was just work for hire kind of thing. Yeah, so I've done it myself. I've gone to the printers to print out my own little mini comics and staple them together, or stayed late at the office so no one was around when I was running off copies. So that sort of thing. And I've learned how to code my own websites, which I don't recommend unless it's something you want to do. Haha. Actually, there's a lot of money in websites, so fucking learn how to do it, because there's not a whole lot of money in comics right now. Anyway, we're not talking about money. We're talking about publishing. So this is only going to be helpful up to a certain point. I don't know what it's like to put together a pitch package and throw it out to the wind and to get rejection letters from the publishers. I don't know what that process is like. So I'm very sorry that I don't have any insight on that. There are some projects that I would like to pitch to traditional publishers and get it out there without me having to do all the work, because putting together books is a pain in the ass. But whatever, I'm getting sidetracked. So I'm going to be talking about publishing online, and I'll be talking about publishing in dead trees. So we'll start online. So before the widespread use of the internet, and before all these things have sort of democratized pretty much everything, the only way to get your comic into people's eyeballs was to go to a traditional publisher, whether it's a big name like Marvel or DC, or a smaller indie publisher, and pitch them. You had to go up there with your book and be like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing you have ever read. Other people need to read this. They need to stick it in their eyeballs with their eyeballs. Let's make a deal. And if they said no, you were kind of fucked. Unless you're Jeff Smith and you fucking do it anyway, which we'll get to the paper later. But now, with the internet, it doesn't take a whole lot to get stuff out to people. We have a lot of social media going on. We have a lot of different websites and platforms that you can use to publish things. I'm using publish in the most loose use of the word. It's uploading a thing and putting it out on the web. That's what we're talking about when we're publishing online. So even on the web, there used to be a time when it was vitally important that you create your own website and you drive all the traffic that you could possibly get to that one website, because the more eyeballs on that website, it was better for advertising. You could get more money for it. People would know about it. This is the one place you can go, and they would bookmark this page and read it every single day and go to it every day because they're helping you out and all that kind of. You don't gotta worry about that these days. There's so much other shit out there. There's so many other platforms. There's so many other ways people consume media that I think starting out focusing on this one narrow piece and spending a lot of energy and learning how to code and doing all that bullshit, that's going to distract you from maybe publishing your next thing or working on your next project. You should be taking advantage of all the platforms that are out there for you. There's a lot of great sites that serve images on the regular, like Instagram is awesome. I'm not sure that this is the best format to consume a comic, but what the fuck do I know? Phones are getting bigger and bigger, and people are using their tablets to look at Instagram. So it's not that wild of a thought to put a square comic on Instagram. And if you tag it with all the things that your comic is about, someone's going to look at the thing. Like, people follow tags and just look at the stuff. Tumblr is a great way to share images as well. I think Yahoo's going through some financial shit these days. And I've seen a couple of posts from people saying, learn how to code your own fucking site because Tumblr's going away. Tumblr is not going away. Tumblr is going to be there for a while. So put your shit on Tumblr. Create a funny URL.tumblr.com and stick your comics up there. You can put your in progress images up there. Just get stuff out there. Tag it properly. Share it with everybody. DeviantArt. Fucking DeviantArt. DeviantArt is the big man on campus. Yeah, people steal shit on DeviantArt and print it up themselves and sell it themselves, and there's a lot of art theft on DeviantArt as well. So like, I'm not going to tell you to put your stuff on DeviantArt, but if you want a lot of eyeballs quickly, DeviantArt is there for you. There are some more other professional portfolio geared sites like maybe like a Behance or an ArtStation or something like that. They have a more professional community looking at those things, but it's still a great place to put up comics because you don't have to worry about coding nothing. You just upload the shit, write what it's about, and you're good to go. I'd say when you're starting out and trying to get as many people looking at your thing as possible, spread it out to as many platforms as you think appropriate. Like, I don't know if Snapchat would be good for comics, but I don't know, man. I don't use it, so it might be great for comics. Who the fuck knows? Try it out. It doesn't hurt you. No one's stealing your shit off of Snapchat. If you're really ambitious, you could try to do like a motion comic thing or do like a panel by panel animation kind of thing and stick it up on YouTube. I think there are some like iPhoto slideshow things that you could record and dump out as a MOV and then put that up. I don't know, man. But just get your work out there. Don't be afraid. Don't get hung up on building your own site. If you need to build your site, that can come later. But from the get-go, from the very start, you want to get your stuff out to as many people as possible. There are also some digital platforms out there for selling comics, like Comixology. That's the biggest one I can think of. Comixology actually has a place where you can submit your work. You don't have to be associated with a giant publisher or anything like that. You could be an indie person like me. I have 2 of my collections up on Comixology, and I submitted it through the site. So even if you're just starting out or not sure where to go, or you're not quite ready to get something in print, you can put it out there as an app or upload it to Comixology, and someone will read it. Maybe. I've made like a couple cents on Comixology already, and you're hitting an audience that loves comics. Some of them are really interested in finding new stuff. So go out there. If there are other apps that sell comics or other apps that are geared towards digital publishing, check them out. See if they'll accept new submissions or comic work or stuff like that, and just get it up there. You want to be bold. You want to be brave. You want to just take advantage of every single possible platform that you think is appropriate for your work. So get it out there. Just be bold about it. Easiest way to get your stuff in front of eyeballs. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to kill any trees. You don't have to make a nice little PDF with the right page numbers and all that kind of bullshit. You just upload it, set it, forget it, you're done, move on to the next one. Digital publishing. Easiest way to get your shit out there. It should be by default. Like, just when you're done with your thing, your 8-page thing, put it up online. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Let's talk about print. So the easiest way to get your comic onto a dead tree is to print it your damn self. So this entire lesson is geared towards creating an 8-page thing. So I'm going to show you how to figure out how to set up your 8 pages for printing. And we are going to use our handy dandy piece of copy paper. So fold it in half one way. Fold it a half another way. Okay. So we have 8 pages. If we open this up as a book, I'll do it this way for you. So we got 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. So take your handy dandy Sharpie. And we're going to draw, this is page 1, this is page 2, ooh, this is 3. Check out this immaculate handwriting. Page 4, page 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so we got our basic zine laid out. Now let's unfold it. So, okay, so you see you got, this is the way the front would look. So you got pages 1, 8, 5, and 4. And then on the other side you have 2, 7, 3, and 6. They don't have to be flipped upside down like this, but they have to be corresponding like that. So when you lay out your images on a one sheet like this, for all 8 pages, you're going to have to figure out which page goes where. And if you drew your comic at 8.5 by 11, so like a full page, you are going to have to reduce it. So that's easy to do in Photoshop. If you're doing it by hand and if you're going to an actual copy machine, you'll have to reduce it by 50% and then paste your pages as such, like this way. And then when you go to run them off at the Xerox, make sure it's double-sided so you get both of them. And then run off as many copies as you need. Oh, this doesn't include a cover, but I mean, you can do that. And when it comes time to assembly, all you got to do is make that cut down the center. Bam. And then fold, and then stick the inside there, staple it together, and then you have your full comic. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit. You can tell I planned this. 6, 7, and there's your 8. This is your first mini comic. It's great. So it's easy to do, easy to assemble, easy to figure out where the pages go. And you just go to Kinko's and you get a shit ton of those done. They have paper cutters at Kinko's. They have staplers. They have those long staplers that you can staple right in the middle. So it's really easy. It takes a night. It's gonna take a couple hours to put together, but like you could do 50 minis in a night, and they're great because you'll have this little thing that you can take to conventions or local comic meetups and share them with people. If you're really ambitious, you can get a table at a local convention and sell them for like $2. $2 is like the going rate for an 8-page mini, I think. If you want to go bigger, you can get bigger. You can do full pages and stuff like that, and then print them out on like legal paper and then fold them that way. But there's a lot you can do with the zine format, and it's great because no one is stopping you. You don't have to call Quebecer in Canada to get like a rate for like 1,000 books, like somebody we know did, and has to store them in the basement. So it's really easy to do. Just zines. Zines are a great way to start. I highly recommend anyone looking to get into print, start with the zine first. Get your hands involved in it and the layout and just get into it. Do a zine first, and if you like doing zines, chances are you're going to like laying out real books yourself. Not that a zine isn't a real book, but like a perfect bound book with, you know, margins and bleeds and things like that. So start with the zine, and if you like making zines, you're going to like doing other things. Once you have a few zines under your hand, you're ready for big book printing. Take a very deep breath because it's going to take a while to assemble the files into a format that the printer will be happy with. I mean, some printers are easy to work with. They're just like, send us a PDF, we'll figure it out. And some are very specific. You have to follow these steps. You have to follow these guidelines. Here's the template. These are the bleeds. Don't fuck it up. Ah! So just relax and know that it's going to take a while to figure all that stuff out. I'm still figuring it out, and I've been doing this stupid shit for like years. The cheapest way to get books printed is to go with a print-on-demand service. These will typically let you upload whatever, like a PDF, a basic PDF, and then order as many books as you need. So if you want to order 10 books, that's fine. If you want to order 20 books, that's fine. If you want to order 500 books, go with an offset printer. A little bit more on that later. There are some other services that allow you to upload a PDF and allow people to order actual books, and then they take care of all the shipping and the printing and all that kind of stuff. I think Amazon has a system like that. So you can just upload your book and you can put it on sale through Amazon instantly and just tell your fans, hey, if you want a physical copy of it, go to Amazon and pick it up here. I think you can do that with like typed out novels. So if you want to start making your own small novels or novelettes and stuff like that, go for it. That service is there for you. If you have the inkling to try to make some money with books, you're going to have to go with an offset printer. Because if you are buying books from a print-on-demand service, like if you're buying 10 books, each of those books will cost you anywhere from like $7 to $10. And when you're trying to sell them at a convention and it's like a floppy and it costs you $10, well, you're not going to price it at 10. Don't price it at $10. You need to price it to make some money back. So price it at least 20, and no one's going to buy a 24-page floppy comic for $20. Unless it's a porn, maybe. Maybe you're really good at drawing porn. Maybe. Or like if you're a really famous artist, then maybe somebody will buy a 24-page floppy for $20. But if you're starting out, chances are no one's going to do that. So in order to make those books affordable, you got to order a shit ton of them. Like thousands. And for that, you need to go to an offset printer. And this is where financing comes into play. I've worked with a number of different offset printers. The first book I printed, I funded it myself, which was a mistake. But I got a really good deal. Like, there was a great price break at 2,000 books. Each book cost me like $3. So I got 2,000 books now. I sell them at 15, so that's a huge profit margin. So I only need to sell a fraction of them to make my money back. But I still have a bunch of books in the basement. My second book I funded through Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter can be tricky. I have a lot of friends who publish their work and get funding through Kickstarter, but a lot of them have an existing fan base. And at the time when I was doing my second book, I had a pretty decent fan base. So when I put up the Kickstarter, it was funded within 24 hours. So everything on top of that was gravy. But if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of fans to pull from, either from your social network or from things like Facebook or stuff like that, it can be difficult. Unless it's a tech product. Tech products usually pop out of nowhere and get instantly funded on Kickstarter without people ever knowing the company existed. It's a little different with comics. There used to be a time when comic projects were well funded on Kickstarter for people who didn't have a huge following to begin with. So if you are going to attempt funding through Kickstarter, I encourage you to have built up a fan base or have a lot of contacts that you can draw upon, or friends that have fans that they can throw at you, because it seems like the way Kickstarter has been going in recent years, indie publishers kind of need to have that name recognition. You can also go through Indiegogo. Indiegogo is another one that doesn't depend on hitting the stated goal to get the money. So anybody who donates anything will, you're going to get something from it. But crowdfunding is great. Don't get me wrong, but for indie publishers, you kind of need to have eyes on your product already. People need to know about you. People need to know about what you're about. People need to be really excited about your comics and stuff. I think sometime in the future I'll record a much longer video about Kickstarter and crowdfunding and strategies you can use to get your comic project funded, but I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Just know that it is definitely possible for you to find people out there to fund your stuff. You just have to do a lot of legwork. So that should give you a very broad overview of publishing your work and getting it out in front of people's faces. Easiest way to do it is on the web. Second easiest way to do it is printing your own zines. And then you have print on demand. And finally, you have offset printing, which can kick your ass if you're not careful. Alright, that's going to do it for this week. Tune in next week when we talk about promotions. Ugh. Ooh. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/thedrawjam, where I'm hoping to build a community of like-minded creators to share their work or to share resources and ask questions and get advice and help from each other. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it with your friends, and check out the playlist of previous lessons. And I don't know, man, have a good day. Make some comics, do some awesome stuff. And thank you for watching. I'll check you later. Bye.